You may or may not be familiar with a show that you can get through an app called The Chosen. And it is a series that's continuing to be developed. It's going to have 7 seasons, and right now there's just 2. But in this app, which you can download, and it's free, I would highly recommend it. And in this series about Jesus, there's a time when Jesus is walking into Jerusalem with his disciples, and on the road, leading the road into Jerusalem, are body after body after body on crosses, people suffering and dying. It was a reminder to the Jewish people, if you try to come up against us, we will crush you. You can believe in whatever you want, but if you do it, we will crush you. And it was meant to be a form of intimidation. It was meant to be a source of terror, a source of a sense that, you have no power. And it was this cross that God, our God, chose to take on. God chose to take on not just the suffering of his time and the sins of his time and the pain of his time and absorbed into his body. He chose at that time for the future, for us, for here today, to absorb our pain. Every beating, every betrayal, every broken heart, every broken part of our bodies, our self-esteems, people who have abused us, people who have hurt us financially, any possible way we have suffered, people gossiping about us, demeaning us, putting us down. Our God has chosen to absorb that for us, to say that I walk with you, I understand, I am with you, and not only am I with you, I take all of this. Now, to the disciples back then, there was no religious significance to this crucifixion at all. It was a source of torture, and it was a source of capital punishment. And to them, it was the end. It made no sense whatever. This good man, who they believed to be God, the Messiah, went through this agony. They were destroyed by it. And yet the promise is not for us or for them. It was not about suffering. Our life is not about suffering. Although, if you're anything like me, I do whatever I have to do to avoid suffering at any possible moment. Anything. And what did we do during COVID? We overate, we overdrank, we did a million things. Maybe we're still doing them. But we do them because we're taught in our culture we're never supposed to be in pain. We're never supposed to die. And yet our God reveals to us in love, all about love. Not suffering for the sake of suffering, but love. I am with you. I walk with you. I absorb for all times your pain. Now, we can be a part of this, and we can listen to the scripture today and say, oh, it's the long one today. And we can just be spectator Christians. We can walk on the side and maybe pretend that, no bad days, no suffering, never again. We can pretend that. And the reality is what? Guess what? We're going to suffer. We're going to have difficult days. Life's going to be tough. But our God reminds us in all that happens this week, this Holy Week, that death and suffering are not the end. There's something more. It's not about suffering and death. Are we passionate? Are we passionate about life and resurrection? That there's something more. That it doesn't end this way. There's good news. Our God did this out of love for us to show us there's something more. That for every death, every betrayal, every brokenness that we have, there's something more. And that's what this journey of Holy Week is about. And I invite you to join us this week in prayer on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and certainly on Sunday. But to walk with Jesus, and in this walking, this journeying with him, bring to him how you suffer. Bring to him your hidden pains, the things that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Bring it all to him. It may not go away, but he promises that you will receive new life, hope, faith. But here's the dangerous part. When we get that connected with our God, he changes us. And then we become aware of the people around us who are suffering. It's not just about God and me. It's about God and me, and my eyes are opened, and now I see how you suffer. That's what our God is inviting us into this week. And here's the choice. Do you want to be a spectator Christian? Or do you want to bring it all to him, recognizing that he promises something more? Let's take a moment, and not just a moment, but through the week, reflect on that. It's not about suffering and death. It's about believing that he offers us something more. Life, resurrection. Let's talk to him. Let's tell him, Lord, I'm not that interested. I'd like to be more interested. I don't want to be a spectator. I want to be connected with you. I want my eyes opened. Let's talk to him.